When it comes to the Black community and Black family, there's still a lot of really important conversations that we need to have in regards to accepting our Black, gay, queer, and bisexual sons. There was a viral post a few days ago that showed Abasi and Nathan, which was a beautiful photo, and some folks had some things to say. The mama had some stuff to say right back. Let everybody know they can go straight to hell and that she loves her Black gay son. Here to talk with us about Black families creating space for dialogue and accepting our Black, gay, queer, and bisexual sons is Abasi and Gemieshia Wimberly in Orlando, Florida. How are y'all?
Pretty good, pretty good. We're blessed to have the experience to talk about this because it's definitely a huge topic, and I definitely am glad to be able to speak on it.
Thank you for having us.
Gemieshia, you had a lot to say.
And I wanted to be the first one to say it because the actual photographer that took the photos had asked me if she could share it. So I asked her if I could share it first because nobody knew. This stayed in our household for some years.
Before anybody came to you, you wanted to be the first to set the record straight.
Right.
Why was it important for you to do that?
Because of the damage that I know that a lot of LGBTQ Black men go through. I actually started my career as a correctional officer. Right now, I'm an investigator with internal affairs at the county jail, but this is something that is seen in a very negative light amongst us Black people in general. It's something that's very frowned upon. It's just overall a negative aspect that when you start talking about gay Black people, especially men, it's
Mhm.
very negative. Like it's people think, oh, maybe they got molested, maybe they got raped. And sorry, I should have put a disclaimer before that, but people tend to think that that's what happened. Sometimes it's just the way people are, and we just have to respect that. And it's nothing that our opinions will change anything about it. What we say about it is it matters. It matters. So that day when he came to me, I was upset at first. I'm not gonna lie. I was very upset. I was confused. I think I was more blindsided by it. But then when I took my emotions as a mom out of it and I put myself in the presence of being like a teenager living in this society now, I understood why he was scared to even share that with anybody. So
Yeah.
I thanked him for sharing it with me first and for allowing me to deal with it how I wanted to deal with it, and then just be his mom.
A lot of parents, mothers struggle with it, fathers especially struggle with it, parents struggle with it. Where or how did you develop this emotional intelligence to handle such what can sometimes be a very challenging issue for some parents?
I took time to learn about it. Like, ask my friends. I asked some of my friends that are on my page right now that were giving me good compliments and, like, walking me through it because I went to high school with a lot of these people and we never even knew they were LGBTQ back then because I'm 38. So it was very frowned upon when I was going to school. So I didn't want him to get bullied. I didn't want him to get taken advantage of. So I learned about it. I asked my friends that are, I asked people around me at work that were, and just try to make him as comfortable as possible because it starts at home.
For Abasi, how old were you when you came out to your mother, and what do you remember that conversation being like?
I want to say 14.
Yeah, you had just turned 14.
I think I had just turned
Yeah.
14. And I remember like when it came down to it, it was kind of like a little bit of like a finding out more type of situation. I didn't feel like I had to keep it from her, but it was definitely something that like within myself I was still coming like to terms with because honestly, growing up, like obviously it was frowned upon at points and being in middle school, it's like you don't want to really be different. Like you don't want to be different in any type of way in middle school. So and I was also not really a person who like thought about sexuality that much in middle school. So like when I was coming to terms with it, and we did finally start to have that conversation. It was definitely kind of a bit of a discourse, but I don't really necessarily feel like it was discourse because of me coming out. It was really more so like how it happened. Like me and my mom have like growing up, she's been my biggest support system and like my only support system. And I can definitely feel and empathize for her, like that she felt kind of blindsided in a way. But I would definitely say that the whole reason of me feeling like hiding it was definitely the stigma around it and how I felt like she would react due to like our surroundings and our community.
Right.
So, but overall, it was a good conversation and I felt accepted after.
How did you know? Because I think we all recognize it.
Yeah, that's what I asked too, because we didn't see this coming.
Yeah, like honestly, I like knew I was different because going through middle school, like everybody was already talking about like people they were interested in and all that. And I just didn't like, I have a lot of friends, both male, female, gay, straight, like, and I definitely had female friends who people would think I'm interested in, but in reality, like I just didn't have that connection to them. And I just found myself to be more connected to males. And I didn't really think about it until I entered high school. And to be honest, high school is more accepting than middle school, obviously, because everyone's still growing into themselves. But when I got to that more mature environment, like I felt more comfortable like exploring my options and, you know, seeing who I liked and, you know, who I was attracted to. And that's how I did.
When you two had this conversation, I'm pretty sure it wasn't just one. I'm sure it's still continuing to evolve, as you two, grow in your relationship as mother and son. How did that change the dynamic? How did that help you two to come together?
We just talked to each other and we only involved each other. Nobody else mattered to me. At first, I'm not gonna lie, I was thinking like, oh my gosh, my parents, they've been married 45 years. So I'm like, ugh, what are they gonna say? Like
Yeah.
they're big in our household, they're big in our surroundings. Like I was just mostly worried about my dad and my mom, and they're very old school love. They met in high school as well too, and they're just old school. So I asked him, my only request was remain yourself at all time, like remain Abasi, stay Abasi forever. Don't ever let nobody change that about you. And if we could just keep this in our house, in our household, you can date, go out and date, but as far like whenever you're ready to tell grandma and granddaddy, we'll tell grandma and granddaddy. But he never felt welcome to say that. I hate saying this online. Like it was never, it was something that we knew they weren't gonna come to terms with. And most of that message was only for family. It wasn't for any. I literally posted that and went to sleep. And when I woke up, it was everywhere. And I was wondering why people were calling me. I'm like scared. I'm like, did something happen? Because both my kids are home. But it was mostly for family that I knew were not gonna like it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was worried about. I wasn't worried about outsiders. Outsiders don't bother me. Like I said, I work at a jail. I've been there 14 years. I'm not afraid of what is in the public. I was more afraid of him being victimized by family. It was not even outsiders because I'm actually close with all his friends. Almost all his teenager friends, they come to me. If they need advice, weirdly, they come to me. I'm probably the youngest mom, but they all talk to me. I talk to all of them. It's welcome in my house. We have no secrets here. There's not one secret in this house. The only secret that we had was posted that day.
You think that creating an environment where, parents can have an open door policy with their children to communicate creates stronger children?
Right. It actually does. And some of his friends he's brought friends to me that needed help with their parents. He'll just bring them and won't even tell me nothing. Just bring them and then they all come talk to me. And then I'm like, oh, that's what we're doing. Okay. I feel like parents should, I won't even say like it's something that you have to accept. It's something that you have to learn about first. So then you can accept it. So instead of as a society have been taught to hate this. It is just something that we have been programmed to hate. It's like, oh my God, a Black boy gay. Oh, what happened over there? Like it's just it's programmed in the human mind, I feel like, to just hate it. And then when you embrace it, it's foreign, but then it's like, oh wait, she young and she accepted this. Like I've been married before. Like we all accepted this. Like it's I think parents need to be more accepting of knowing that kids could be different. Everybody's not the same.
For Abasi, so you talked earlier about, recognizing that you were different and having to accept yourself and having fear of the stigma. What else really challenged you when it came to like really fully accepting yourself? Because there are different fears that we have when we recognize our sexuality. So for you, what were some of the biggest internal conflicts that you had to face?
Honestly, the biggest internal conflicts I had between myself was like, how much is too much? Like, a lot of the time, like, there's people out there who are like, oh, like, it's okay that you're gay, but like, don't be this way or don't be that way. And it's like, at the end of the day, I definitely was one of those people who, when it came to my sexuality, I wasn't as like self-conscious about it because it was just me, and I've just always kind of been that person where it's like this is how I'm living. But it was definitely kind of like that same I feel like that same feeling like a lot of gay people have, where it's like, how do I act in this situation, or like what do I do in this situation, like should I be around this person without another person here, like what are they going to say about me, like. And it's just definitely, it all relates back to the stigma, and it relates back to this kind of like one-sided and narrow mind, and then also just kind of like people's upbringings and not being able to adapt to other things. But I would definitely really say that was like the biggest one.
For both of you, you talked about the family. How has your family accepted this? How are y'all navigating the family thing?
Honestly, when I came out to my mom, and we decided to just kind of keep it between us. Obviously I was okay with that because we both know, like, we've lived with them before, so we knew how that was gonna go. But I would say
Yeah.
majority of my family really does accept me and love me. But then again, there is like those people who are distant, those people who have never came to anything I've ever had. Not to my own horn, but I've been a really good academic student.
Yeah.
I've been in clubs, like I've hosted a lot of things, and the people who don't accept me and have the most to say about me are the people who just aren't there for me for real. Like, as she said in her post, like those people were never really there for me. And I would say, honestly, it is heartbreaking to
It is.
get that view from my grandparents, but at the end of the day, like, I'm living my truth and I'm happy with what I'm doing. It hasn't stopped anything for me. I'm still going to college.
Yeah.
I'm like the second person to go. And I still am graduating top of my class. Like, I still have done stuff for myself, and as long as my biggest support system loves me, then I really kind of just don't care. I do hope and I pray that those people can come around to accept love on top of hate, because at the end of the day, to be honest, a lot of Black families are find themselves religious, and there's a lot of things within religion that is telling you to love people for them. And you can have your views and you can believe what you want to believe, but you still need to love your family. Like,
Right.
I feel like that comes first.
Right.
And it's heartbreaking that that doesn't come for some people, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Honestly.
We still love them too. Like I still
Exactly.
talk to
Like,
them
it's
every
no
day.
love lost.
They asked about him yesterday, so it's really just them. But like I said, they're old school. They'll get with it, or just, I mean, it's still people that don't like it, and that's fine. His dad didn't have a problem with it years ago. His dad found out about it and he was fine with it. His grandmother on his dad's side, they're island people. They have island origin, and that's not really big in their community. They accepted it as well.
I'm very, very thankful, like, every day, because I am obviously friends with people of the LGBTQ community, and I have friends whose parents don't accept them and don't agree with their lifestyle. And I definitely feel like in the long run, that does cause problems because you just have self-doubts within yourself. And then it's also like I am loved by both of my parents and majority of my family members, and I feel the need to spread that love to other people. Like I obviously have grown up, I've always known that I was blessed with an amazing support system and family and circumstances. And it just feels amazing overall. And I'm like really excited to grow up and be able to be a part of the change and help other people love themselves as well.
Let's get to the post. Gemieshia wrote, "We don't care what you think. I actually love how brave my child is to live and love out loud. It has taken us years to display this. I prepared him for that moment years ago. Folks will dislike him simply because they don't understand it. I was one of these people. When he told me, I hated it, but loved him way more than the hate. So I learned about LGBTQ plus. I cried a lot. I prayed a lot. The boldness, the ability to live and overcome the hate of others. He could actually teach a few of y'all, grown folks, that's mad. Excuse me. He could actually teach a few of y'all grown folks that's mad something. We're going to talk about the post. So you posted a prom picture. Abasi and Nathan is Nathan. He was your prom date.
Yeah, Nathan's my boyfriend. Yeah.
Yeah, Nathan is in our house. Yeah, he's our house. He's a part of our household.
Okay. So how long have you and Nathan been dating?
We met, I think, what am I in 12th grade? In 10th grade.
I thought middle
Around,
school.
well, no, we went to the same middle school,
Okay.
but we didn't really like know each other. We didn't have the same friend group and stuff, but we knew who each other were. And then we met like formally in 10th grade, and we started dating shortly after that. I want to say like around October or like November. And then circumstances happened. So then we parted ways for a little bit. I around like May. And then we got back together November of this year, and we've been together ever since.
Okay.
November last year. Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
2024. Yeah.
Sorry.
So when did you two decide that y'all were going to go to prom together and be open at prom?
I would really say it was never like we never thought about it.
No, we
were
all just went
like
suit
we
shopping.
were just like, okay, so like when are we gonna go? Because me and Nathan are definitely people who like stand our ground. Like we're both Geminis, so you can imagine how that goes. But
Yeah,
we're
they
like
10 days
both
apart.
people who like we don't care. Like we love out loud. And honestly, like we just wanted our moment to be great. Like if everyone or most American people are allowed to go to prom with their dates, then why can I bring my date? Why would I bring somebody else or not go with anybody because I care what anybody else thinks?
Right.
Like it really doesn't matter. So honestly, I would just say we thought about it when it was time to shop.
Yeah, because they weren't gonna. I kind of pushed it. I was like, wait, aren't you going with Nathan? Like, aren't you? And they both kind of are like, are we going together? Like, why do they have to second guess that?
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to second guess. You can go with who you want to go with. You don't
Yeah.
have to hide it.
Did the post go viral before or after the prom?
That was after that was posted the next day because and actually I wasn't even gonna post anything only because of my job. Like I'm up there. So I don't post a lot. I don't really say anything. But when she asked, I was like, wait, can I do it first? And then you put the pictures because she owns the pictures, of course, even though I paid for them, but she technically owns the pictures and she didn't have to ask. She could have just posted them and then I would have had to answer like a million questions. So I kind of like just was like, all right, here goes. Because my parents didn't know. They claimed they didn't know, but my brothers didn't know. Um, my other family, which most of them, about 95% of them embraced it. It was fine. But it was that little 5%, and those are the 5% that mean something to us. So yeah, I was like, can I just make a quick post? And like I really wasn't gonna make one. So that's why it's so rushed. And I just had to like say it first before they find out somewhere else. Because
Yeah.
I had already posted one of the pictures on my story. They were inside of the Tesla. So that night of the prom, I was like, people were like putting eyes on it, like eyes, because everybody thought he was going with another. It was another person that he's very close with.
Mhm.
Everybody thought that was the date, and I was like, no, she has her own boyfriend.
Mhm.
Like, and people thought I didn't know. I'm like, she literally lives here. Like, she definitely has a boyfriend. Like, while people
Yeah.
are thinking about them two, I'm like, little do y'all know, we just be quiet and just let people
I just
talk.
really don't think like my sexuality really matters to most
Yeah, it
people.
doesn't.
I think really that's why like the post was like significant to
Yeah.
post and answer the questions. But in all honesty, like I don't really feel like it was necessary to give those people like
Yeah, he
an
did not. He
explanation.
did.
Like
He was
I
like,
just
"Mom,
didn't
what did you
care.
do?" I was
Like,
like,
yeah, like when she posted it, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is cute. Like me and Nathan were looking at it together, and I'm like, oh my god, this is cute. And then she calls me the next day and she's like, oh, it's going viral. And I'm like, what?
yeah, I was like,
I'm like, why?
why people keep sharing it?
Like, and I'm just used to like such a loving environment that like me and Nathan are just looking at each other like, why are we going viral over being gay? Like, what?
Yeah.
When it should be
Like,
accepted. It
who
literally, it
cares?
should be accepted.
Yeah,
Like
it should be,
it
but
should be.
honestly, going over it and understanding why we went viral would really make sense because, we have those people who have their views and their thoughts and their ideas and
Right.
all that. But yeah.
I'm sure we're curious to know. So, how was prom night for you and
Yeah,
Nate?
how was it?
So honestly, prom was not that interesting.
They came home at 9:30.
9:30.
Left, yes, we left
They had
the
that little
prom
chauffeur
at like
everywhere.
7:30, and the guy drove us to prom, and then we were in prom for like an hour. The food was pretty good. The theme was nice. The music was really, really bad. Um, the music was really, really, really bad. And so once they announced who prom king and queen was, we left and got the chauffeur to bring us back home.
They came
Okay,
cute.
so us old people, we gotta ask, define bad. What does bad music mean?
Bad was like okay, so like going in, it was like all fun, getting to see everyone's dress, but like the music was literally like 2005.
Yeah.
Not even the good 2005 like R&B hip hop. No, it was like party rock and like I got a
The football
feeling
stadium music,
it was just,
probably.
Oh God.
Yeah, the
it
football
was,
music. Yeah,
it
that's
was really bad.
yeah.
And but other than that, like it was fun being with my friends and all that. They played like our music for like 2 seconds. And
Too
then
much cussing.
and
Too
then yeah, but there was obviously a prom after party, so we were all just ready to go to that.
Yeah.
So we just left. Yeah.
Abasi, what is the demographic of your school? Do you go to school with a lot of other Black people, or is it mixed?
It's mixed,
Very
but
mixed.
like it's definitely still a little separated. Like
Yeah.
most of my friends are like colored and like gay and all that, and then like there's definitely a demographic. Like we just had an issue between the gay idea with another friend of mine, but it's still segregated in a way. We just obviously wouldn't say that, but
Right.
it is, in my opinion.
It is segregated. What are the racial issues like? What are the racial relationships like where you guys live at?
It's definitely
Monetary.
yeah, and like them feeling superior to
Yep.
us. And like we have black like the football team is predominantly black.
Yeah.
The
Yep.
cheerleading team is predominantly black, but then we have the SGA that's only white. So then it's like, well, there is black people, like we have the black SGA president, but they don't even really like her. And it's kind of like because a lot of people in that zip code really have this like entitled mind. Like
Right.
they have this thing where they feel like because they're in a situation that's better than ours, like we kind of don't really matter. And
Oh,
then
their
again,
school is located on a golf course. I forgot to say that.
and then
Dubstrat
again,
is like world renowned.
yeah.
It's literally you can walk right there.
And then there's like businesses around us
Yep.
that
Small
don't really
businesses.
like us as much, but it's really like us. And
Yeah.
then it's like it's as much as like we hate to say it and like be those people, it definitely the energy is felt on campus. But at
Right.
the end of the day, like I'm gonna fight my fight every time. And I know what I'm bringing to that campus, which
Yep.
is being one of the only 4 people graduating from college
Yep.
before we leave. And it's like all those people are colored. Like, and I don't know, I feel like there is stigma still surrounding my school, but it's unfortunately how the world is. So we
Yeah.
just have to keep going.
Do you feel obligated almost to be super excellent because you're both black and gay? Do you think that's additional pressure for you?
I definitely feel that way because it's like being a black gay male, like it's either like a problem because you're black or a problem because you're gay. And I definitely feel that in a lot of sense. Like when I come to a job interview, like when I got my job, like I felt like I had to dress up a little bit more and I felt like I had to articulate myself a little more. Like when I go to school, my school has like a 98% graduation rate, but a lot of those kids were failing the entire time we were
Yeah.
there. They were just helping them come up. And then like it's not obviously, but it is a lot of people within our community.
Yep.
And I definitely feel like as a person, I need to be able to strive to excellence to show that we really can do it. Like, there's a lot of friends with mine who like have issues going on at home or issues with money or whatever, and they definitely feel like they can lean on me because I am showing that we can do it in education. Like, we can be up there with them.
Yep.
And honestly, as far as like being gay, like I'm gonna be honest, we run a lot of things, whether they want to admit it or not. Like we run a lot of things. Like we're very big in fashion.
Yep.
We're really big advocates in psychology. Like we're
Yep.
really big. Like obviously, like we love to help people. So there's a lot of doctors who are gay, even though they don't want to admit it, but they probably are. And I'm a person who wants to be like a psychologist, but I want to be able to get into a master's program and not have to worry about being black and gay. So I feel like I need to worry about my academics. So
Right.
I definitely feel like there's a bit of a push there.
Thank you for sharing that. And thank you for striving for excellence. That's so important.
It is.
So, last question. Gemieshia, what is your advice? How would you encourage parents to work on understanding and accepting their gay children? And Abasi, what is your advice to other young Black gay and trans and bisexual men who are accepting themselves and making their way through the world?
Okay. Honestly, my advice is to love yourself before you worry about anybody else. It's a big problem if you're always like you're battling with so many things within yourself and you can't even, like you're worrying about other people and how they're gonna feel. You are who you are, and nobody can really change that within you. Everyone's mind runs different, everyone's thoughts, everyone's imaginations are different. And honestly, for people who don't have as much support, lean on people within your community because we're going to be the first hand. Like we know what's going on, and understanding that we can offer each other support. And you are loved, whether by your family or whether it's by your friends. Like your family is who you make it, and you have to understand you may lose some people in the battle, but you're different. So there's always going to be somebody on this earth that does not agree with you.
Right.
So you just have to love yourself and agree with yourself. And that's my advice.
And my advice as a parent is how I looked at it is he's 6'2", he has really long hair, and he's intelligent to me. So leaving this house every day, he already has those 3 strikes against him. People don't expect him to be smart. People see the dress and they feel intimidated. People see his tallness and they feel intimidated as well. And engage into that as well, you already shot down before you even leave this house. So I don't want to add the extra pressure on him having to fake who he is and go out into this world and everybody else see it but me. So it's accepted in my house because I accepted it first. And I always want him to feel love. Like you Black men, y'all have a lot to fight against already. You don't need to be fighting against your household. You don't need to be fighting against the people that are closest to you. And once parents kind of deal with their emotions first against it, because like I said, I was one of those people that was programmed to hate gays. Like I'm not even gonna lie. Like it's just something that was not tolerated in my house growing up. It wasn't something tolerated in the community growing up. When I went to Edgewater, like the gay boy, it was one. At that point, we knew kind of one. It's always one that's very different. He used to get picked on and bullied and like, oh my God, you're gay. Like I really didn't understand it until I became an adult. So once I removed my emotions from it and took the time to already see what black men fight against, I wasn't going to allow that in my household. So I wasn't going to allow that hate to filter in and have me hating my son. And then he's going out finding love in all the wrong places. Because
Mm,
I heard stories where, like, real briefly, like some people, I have like 500 messages in my box. Like, I'm still trying to filter through them. Um, One boy was telling me how when he was 13, he was like talking to grown people and he
yeah.
should never been talking to grown people. My son had a friend in ninth grade that was doing that and bringing men to his house, and he had a little sister. So it's like you getting in with the wrong people and getting the wrong attention because you're not accepted at home. So then you going out finding these people that, are showing you love and it's wrong. So like accept it, understand it, deal with it on your own. Get your own understanding of how you want to go about it. But eventually these kids they're gonna grow up and they need somebody to lean on.